Hello, fellow fans of the Cheetahking. I was just going through Reddit the other day looking for something I could react to. And then I saw these screenshots and I was thinking, wow, this is a lot to look at and this is a lot to be talking about because so far she wants to know who's in the wrong here. So these are two mothers, I guess you could say. One is the mom, one is the birth mom, and one is the stepmom. All right. The stepmom married birth's mom, old husband. And so far, this is a chat. It's a lot to take in, so let's just go through this and see what they have to hold. So they start off by saying, "Hi, blank. I was trying to find the right words to say this to you and debated whether or not I even should. But my honest judgment tells me it's the right thing to do. I want it to be very clear that you are not blank's mother. I am. You do not get to make decisions when it comes to my son. I'm incredibly offended that I wasn't even consulted about cutting my son's hair." So far it started because she cut her son's hair. Again, you are not his mother, regardless of what little art remarks blank makes on his stories of your and blank and posts of you guys. You aren't. I don't know what that means. I can't really understand that. But appreciate the same respect I've given you since we were introduced to each other. Clearly a lot of respect going on. I felt disrespected more than once, but am now just choosing to say something. I hope it doesn't come off aggressively or ranty, but this is how I feel. So then she goes back and says, okay, wow. So we are driving back from Dallas for the weekend. Let me get back to you once I sit down and actually have a moment to read this. All right. So after she reads it, then she goes and says, yeah, so I took blank to the appointment that blank scheduled. I assumed you and him communicated about it. So basically what's going on here is she didn't really know that the birth mom didn't know. The stepmom did not know that the birth mom didn't know. She thought the husband communicated, talking about how he's gonna give a haircut, but clearly she didn't yet. So I let blank tell the barber how he wanted his haircut. That's what blank told me to do, so I did it. I'm not trying to be rude when I say this, but you take up little to no room in my mind, truthfully. If you think this was some orchestrated thing to tick you off, then you have the wrong idea. I'm not his mother and I'm not trying to be. I simply was just trying to be helpful and made blank happy, so I'm not sure where the aggression is coming from. It seems like this is something you wanted to say for a while and this is your excuse to say it. So she did not think that this would be this big of a deal. I'm assuming it was just a haircut. I mean, if it's a haircut, it's a haircut. I don't think it's some big life or death threat. It's literally a haircut, and she's over here making it a bigger deal than it has to be. I don't think it's very bright because your hair can always grow back. And it's not like they're constantly doing this. This is a haircut. At least this is what I'm thinking. I don't know. Based off these texts, I think so far this is just a haircut they gave him, and they're starting to get heated over this. I've never said a bad word about you. I don't even feel any ill will toward you, but this is like a little pathetic, and obviously it is. Please don't make this about you. Don't make it more than it needs to be. This is simply about you bypassing my being a parent to make decisions for my kid. She probably meant me. That's exactly what it's about, isn't it? LOL, it's about me. You don't have to like me. You can actually hate me for all I care. I promise I won't lose sleep over it. You don't even have to like blank, but you do need to get over him. I've been nothing but respectful to you and ignored your many attempts to make me uncomfortable. Unsuccessful, I might add. But I'm not gonna keep just being silent. Blank is a great father to blank and a great partner to me. You seriously need to focus on you. It's been years. You're trying to make him unhappy, but it's just projection. You need help. You need help seriously. I don't know go to therapy, find a new man, be celibate. I don't really know what the solution is, but dang. Sure, none of this is bothering the heck out of both of us. I mean, is the haircut really the issue? Or is it the issue that you're afraid of the fact that blank is going to grow up and be around me more than you? Wow. She cooked. She really just cooked. Like, cooked harder than Chef Boyardee. Alright, let's keep going. I get it, but I'm not aiming to replace you. The hostility is that totally unwarranted, and you could have just said what you had to say, not under the guise of you being mad about Blank's haircut. Well, okay, Blank, this is exactly the kind of immature response I expected. Probably the most reasonable thing they could have said, but this isn't about Blank, you, or whatever fantasy you've concocted in your head about me. It's about my son. I don't need therapy. I need you to respect my boundaries that should have been obvious. You don't need to be involved in decisions that don't concern you, period. She gave him a haircut. Not even herself. She went to a barber, gave her a haircut. She didn't even schedule it. It was the birth husband, all right, that gave him the haircut. And she's going crazy over this. Acting like she gave him a gun and then told him to play outside. Like, it's not that big of a deal. All she did was give him a haircut. I didn't make any decisions. I facilitated transportation for a 7-year-old. Once again, yeah, she didn't even cut the kid's hair. She went to a barber. That's all she did. Do you even hear yourself? What is it that you really want to say? You're being really rude. This wasn't supposed to be some huge thing. It wasn't supposed to be some huge thing. Why did you bring it up? And not only that, you brought it up in a huge paragraph. If it wasn't supposed to be a little thing, you would have just called him and say, hey, did you give my son a haircut? Next time, just run it by me. That could have been all you've done. But really what you had to do is you were the one who brought it up. You brought an entire paragraph saying why she should know everything that happens to that kid. I just wanted to tell you how I felt. You're right, actually. It's not just the haircut. Like, it's you talking him to practice. It's like you taking him to practices. And him spending holidays and stuff with you. You're making yourself the focus of this, and you aren't, Blank is. Yeah, so the holidays things make sense. But taking him to practices, I'm like, are you serious? Like, you're mad because she drives him to practice. You would much rather go out of your way, go to their house, pick up that kid just to take him to the practice. Is that what you want? Seriously, grow up. Learn how to have a conversation like an adult. What is she talking about? What is she talking about? She's the one who brought this up. You're not always going to agree with everyone on everything, but there are people in your life who you're just going to have to deal with and respect. Yo. All right. Maybe she's talking to herself here. Maybe she's just like, all right, seriously, grow up. Learn how to have a conversation. She's literally the one making a big deal out of this. It's nothing. This is like 2 7-year-olds fighting over who gets the last cookie in a cookie jar. Like, it's literally not that big of a deal. And then they're over here like, you always get the last cookie. And you always get, like, it's not that big of a deal. She drove him to get a haircut. So I'm not sure if you know this, but you actually are, emphasis on the R, allowed to take him to practice and spend holidays with him. Also, you don't know me. You don't just get respect. You need to earn it. I've been nothing but respectful to you, but it's quickly dissipating. You're talking to me like I'm 25 years younger than you, babe. Like I'm literally 8 years your junior. 8 years your junior? I'm literally 8 years your junior. Doesn't mean you get to talk to me like a kid. At this point, it's just giving obsessed a little. If you keep texting me, I'm going to block you, and I really don't want to do that. You have to talk to Blank and not me. Have a good night. Now, that's a good point right there. You have to talk to Blank and not me. The dad, she should have talked to the dad first. Why did she go straight at the stepmom? Like, I don't even understand. Like, she said she doesn't even know her. I'm not even sure if they've ever met in real life. But also, I want to point on you are allowed to take him to practice. Yeah, like I said, you can drive there. It's not like she just has to stay there and do nothing. It's not like there's a restraining order. She's allowed to drive there, pick him up, and take him to practice. I'm guessing she wouldn't mind if the real mother did some work here. But it seems like she's just complaining and not actually doing it. So, but to have a good night, period. That was a chef's kiss. It says, who's to blame here? Well, right now I think no one's to blame because it really wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. Yeah, these texts were interesting, and yeah, goodbye. See ya.